بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we began a brief commentary of Quran. We got to chapter Anaam. This chapter is revealed in Mecca and it has 165 verses. Please listen to verse 152.
ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ أشده وأوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها وإذا قلتم فاعدلوا ولو كان ذا قربى وبعهد الله أوفوا ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تذكرون.
And do not approach the property of the orphan except in the best manner until he attains his maturity. وأوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها وإذا قلتم فاعدلوا ولو كان ذا قربى وبعهد الله أوفوا ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تذكرون. And give full measure and weight with justice. We do not impose on any soul a duty except to the extent of its ability. And when you speak, then be just though it be against a relative, and fulfill Allah's covenant. This He has enjoined you, with that you may be mindful. In previous verse, Allah mentioned some of the different things that were forbidden to the people, like to associate anything or anybody with God, and to bother the parents, not to respect them, and to kill the children. And also Allah said you should not go even close to fawahish. Fawahish, we said, is the plural of fahisha, and fahisha is something which is considered among the people something dirty, unclean. One of the example is adultery, stealing, backbiting. In this verse, Allah mentions also something else which is forbidden, and that is to get something which belongs to the orphan. Some property, some money, some items which belongs to the orphans, Allah says don't touch it, don't approach it. This is forbidden to touch it because it belongs to orphans. Orphans cannot allow you even to approach it, because it is, as we understand from the verse, is the orphan who are children, because Allah says hatta yabluqa ashuddah, until they attain and gain their maturity, they became mature. It means they are children. So the orphans who are children, when they are owner of something, when they own something, we cannot touch it, we cannot use it. Even it is said by scholars that when one person dies, if he has some children, like 2 years old, 3 years old, for example, and he owns something. They inherit the house from their father. You cannot enter the house. You cannot touch anything which belongs to these children unless you took a permission from a scholar who has authority on these children. So whatever belongs to the orphans, we are not allowed, and it is forbidden to touch it, to use it. Allah says, إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, unless to use it and to touch in such a way which is the best for the orphans. To touch in such a way that it is in the same way of their benefits. They get they get benefit out of touching or using. It means, for example, you want to get it for the business. Okay, if the business is good for the child, otherwise it is not allowed. حتى يبلغ أشده, until they become adult. We know that مال اليتيم, mal, it means property or money, whatever belongs to somebody else. Mal al-yatim, whatever belongs to the orphans. We cannot touch it as we cannot touch anything which belongs to somebody else. What is the difference between orphans and somebody else? Why Allah mentioned orphans? Because we should know that the orphans, because they have nobody to take care of them, it is more important to take care of that. And also the orphans, since they are children, if they allow you to use it, still we cannot use it because they are children. حتى يبلغ أشده. But other people, they may allow you and it is enough, you can touch it. Or they have father or mother, for example, they allow you, you can touch it. But orphans, no, you should take a permission from a scholar. And again we emphasize, because orphans, they have usually nobody to defend them, it is more chance that people will commit sin by taking their money and use it in a wrong way. وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ. Allah says, when you want to measure something, you should try to measure it in a full. Kale is a bushel, something that when we want to, or at least in old time when they wanted to use like sugar, for example, sometimes even oil, sometimes rice, barley, they were selling with with the bushel. They were telling we need 2 bushels, 3 bushels. It is a special measure. Allah says when you sell something by bushels, the number of bushels, try to full it. Try to give it completely. It means if you want to give 2-3 bushels, from each one don't take a little and try not to give it in a full. This is wrong. This is forbidden. When you say 2 or 1 bushel, 2 bushels, it means 2 or 3 in complete, in full. Don't reduce anything from that. وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ. When you want to sell something by weigh, when you say 2 or 3, for example, pound, 4 pound, give it exactly, at least 4 pound. It is recommended, according to some narrations, that it is recommended to give a little more to stay in safe side. Not even very little less. So if you sell it by bushels, if you sell it by weight, try to full it and to give complete as you promised to give. You got the money for all, give it to all. Unfortunately, some people sell 3 bushels and each one they reduce a little, they don't full it. Or they sell, for example, 5 pound and they don't give all. They give 4 pound, for example, and 350 grams, for example, which is wrong. لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها. We may say that this is very difficult to give exactly the same as they asked. Allah says, of course, we don't put on your shoulders something which is out of your ability. Try to give enough, as much as it is possible and you can give it. It means intentionally try not to give less. But more than that, if sometimes you make a mistake or very little you made a mistake, Allah will forgive. By mistakes, Allah will forgive. But not to understand that you don't give enough. Unfortunately, some people, they don't give enough, they get all the money, and they are so happy that they got the money, for example, for 10 pounds, and they gave 9.5 pounds. They know themselves. And for each one, they do the same. They don't understand that this is people's rights and Allah's rights. Huququllah wa huququn nas. It is a stealing. When a person steals something, it means he committed sin because of haqqullah and also because of haqqun nas, people's right. This money belongs to the people. And also, even if that person will come back and forgives you, still you committed sin because you passed the limitation of Allah. Allah had forbidden to you and you didn't accept it. You had stolen. Inshallah, in next section, I would like to talk about the rest of the verse and explain a little more. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.